Hey stamping friends, this is Kim Quady with KimPlaysWithPaper.com. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Mesa, Arizona, and every Tuesday I either have a live Facebook session or I bring you a video featuring a new different stamping technique or a set of cards made with a certain stamp set. So today I am showing you something that I'm a little late to the party. I have been seeing all kinds of backgrounds and images lately used with alcohol ink background. And I thought, oh, those are so gorgeous. I have to learn how to do this. And so you may have seen this, you may have not. If you haven't, I'll show you how, my interpretation of it, and then you can try it and see what works best for you. It's super fun, gives you some really neat backgrounds. You can die cut, you can stamp on top of them, make all kinds of greeting cards or scrapbook pages. So give me a sec, I'll put you down to my work surface and I'll show you what I'm up to today. I saw some of my team members and some other people do this online and I thought, oh my goodness, these are just gorgeous. And what do you do? How do you get these? So what you use are Stampin' Up's alcohol markers, the Stampin Blends. So for this project, I'm using the dark Daffodil Delight and the dark Fresh Freesia. You also use vellum as well as alcohol. I've seen different videos. They suggest the 91% alcohol along with a mini paintbrush, and then cardstock and all of the other things that go with making a card. The stamp set that I wanted to use, because it's brand new in the container and I haven't even used it, so I thought, what can I use with the Sunny Sentiments that's in Stampin' Up's current annual catalog? And I just loved all the big sentiments, so I kind of wanted that to be front and center along with some fun background. So this is what I came up with. Thought you could use some sunny thoughts today. This is the card that we'll be making, or a version thereof. Very pretty. A birthday card, hoping your birthday is filled with all the best things. I think that's Poppy Parade in Bermuda Bay and crushed curry. This is another pretty one. A happy hello, balmy blue, daffodil delight, night of navy. And you can see I've just added a little bit of ribbon for a little bit of interest. And then there's also a thank you sentiment in that set as well. So used just a couple of different colors for the background. Like I say, there's a ton of videos out there showing backgrounds and just a ton of different ways to use it, but I'm going to show you what worked best for me, and then I'd like to see what works best for you. So I'm going to use Stampin' Up's little acrylic mat. I have the vellum cardstock cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4, and this is a little bigger than I need it. I'm going to cut it down a little bit later. I have some of Stampin' Up's adhesive sheets cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4, and a piece of the basic white cardstock also cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4. Again, bigger than I need, but I am going to make it a little bit smaller for our project. And I know that the acrylic sheets, the mats, they don't the adhesive's going to come right off of there, but what happens when you get the alcohol on this vellum, it curls, and I don't really want it to curl, and we'll get it down flat before that happens. So it's very simple. I put my vellum cardstock, and now we just scribble. I mean, I can do that. That is easy enough. So the Stampin' Blends have a brush tip and a hard tip, and I'm just going to use the brush tip and scribble, because if you remember, I'm going to try to make something similar to that. So I know, so I'm just scribbling. That's seems kind of crazy that that's all you have to do. But the magic will happen when we get the alcohol out. And I don't think there's any way you can make two cards that are exactly the same. Every time you do this, it's going to be a little bit different, and that's the fun, that's the magic of it. One more, let's put a little bit more of this fresh freesia on here, just here. I don't know how far we'll go with our die cutting. So I have a little bit of rubbing alcohol in there and my little brush. I was so excited to do this project that I didn't go out and buy a brush. I just went through my stash to see what I could find and what would work. So it's not the best brush, but you know what? It works. I just dab the alcohol or my brush into the alcohol, and it's kind of got the fan on because it's really hot here today. And I'm just going to dab onto the ink that I've splurched onto the splurched. What a word is that? That I've put onto my, and you can see how it's already, and then I picked it up, so it's running just a little bit. You can make big splotches, you can make little splotches, you can just kind of, you can put it on any way that you want. You can flick it, it's yours. I'm also going to try, someone suggested putting a straw and blowing into it, but if I get down low, I can make the ink move around with my breath, and that will just give us another different dimension of that, and the bubbles and the art will go other places. So I'm going to leave that as is. It's been super fun experimenting with all the different colors and all the different Stampin' Blends that Stampin' Up has. So I'm going to set this aside to dry. Thankfully, I have done one ahead of time, and so this is what it turned out like. Get it a little closer. So pretty. Again, this is the process that worked for me, so I'll show you. This is the side that I watercolored, and so I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to grab my adhesive sheets, and it's nice that there's some little strips in the back where you can just peel that off. And of course I have sticky all over my hand, but it's fine. And I'm just going to put it on the back of my, and that adhesive stuck to my finger. I'm going to put it on the back of my vellum. And I don't have to be accurate because, again, I'm going to cut that down just a little bit. So I will take that off. Make sure it's on, and I'm going to turn it over. And I think I'm going to put my sentiment right here. So I have the thought. You could use some sunny thoughts today already put on a block. And I'm using Stays On. So the Stays On is a permanent black ink, and that will stamp best on that vellum. I'm going to give it a good covering of that. I'm just going to practice too just once on my my grid paper. I love the grid paper. I can line the top up with a line and make sure that I have it on straight. I know that's sometimes an issue for me, so I think that looks good. And then I know this Stays On dries really quickly, and I have a fan going, so I want to just be sure that I have enough ink on there so I get a nice big covering with the sentiment. Just such a fun card. I love those two colors together. So I think I'll stick it right there. And I'm just going to press down evenly and firmly, hoping that I got good coverage on that sentiment. Just a reminder, we'll be making, that's what we're looking for. Okay, let's pull it off. See if we did well. Usually the stamp here goes way better than the one you actually put. Oh, now that turned out beautifully. All right, so my next step is to take the adhesive off of the back of the vellum, and I am going to put it onto my Whisper White cardstock. The vellum is really awesome, but sometimes different adhesives, you will be able to see right through it, and I didn't want that to happen. I'm going to just turn that over, and if I got a bow and folder, I could make sure that adhesive, that's all the way on there. There we go. And you could also put it on the back of this onto any other color, but I just wanted it on white. Now I'm going to step over here to my Stampin' Cut embossing machine, and I'm going to be using one of the stitched rectangles. So give me 1 second. My machine doesn't fit under the camera, so I'll be right with you as I cut that out, and we'll finish making the card. Thank you for your patience as you waited for me to do that. So I'm just going to pull this off. I've used that stitched rectangle, and it gives it, I have a little bit of adhesive on my fingers. It gives it just a fun little look. And then I have chosen to layer it with some Highland Heather. So I will use Stampin' Up's Stampin' Seal Plus, and put that on the back and just put the card together. I do have some fun ribbon to add to it just to pretty it up just a little bit. And I kind of got sidetracked. I had a whole list of things I was supposed to do this weekend and didn't get a lot done because I started with this technique and I just couldn't stop. So I had pieces of cardstock and watercolor everywhere. So isn't this gorgeous? This is the metallic ribbon. So I'm going to grab a piece of that. Just very fun, and make it just a knot up here in the corner, and I'll get it tight, and then I can move it anywhere I want before I put it on my card base. Could even make a bow if I wanted to, but the ribbon's very so pretty. Okay, and I did get too much. Sometimes I have a tendency to do that because not always good with bow and ribbons, so I need a little extra, but I'm sure I can find a use for that piece. All right, so now we're ready to put that on my card base, and I used Daffodil Delight. Got that all ready to go. And I'll put some Stampin' Seal Plus on it and finish up the card. But I just really wanted to quick show you the alcohol ink technique. There are other videos out there, and it seems to be something fun that we're all trying. And so just go have fun with it. Just see what you can make and see what you have for your stamp sets. And there you have it. And what I liked about this particular set that I used, the Sunny Sentiments, is that I could make a set of 4 cards that all said something really, really fun. So I've got thought you could use some sunny thoughts today. So there's two different backgrounds. The thank you. Happy hello, and a birthday card. Thanks so much for joining me today and taking the time to watch. You can find my other cards and creations at kimplayswithpaper.com. I also have a YouTube, that's what this video is made into, Pinterest, as well as a business Facebook page. And feel free to contact me if you have any questions at all about paper crafting or this particular set of cards. Thanks so much for popping in. I appreciate it. Happy crafting. Have a great day and a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.